-7 currently in Ottawa. Feels like -14.
And here?
Here it's -2. Feels like -9.
And that's cold for DC.
Oh yeah, must be, yeah. They don't expect this much snow hardly ever, right?
You know, people were telling me last time they got snow, like, they'd shut the city down 3 years ago. I wasn't here, so I don't know.
Right.
But others were saying.
Having grown up
unusual.
here, about once every 10 years, we have an awful winter with tons of snow. And then the other 9 winters are pretty quiet.
And is this tons of snow?
No.
Not yet?
No, we had snow again in 2010, 2011, where we had a 2-foot snowstorm, another 2-foot snowstorm, and I think like a 1.5-foot snowstorm.
Oh, wow. So you had 5 feet of snow in total, or?
I think we ended up having over 6.5 feet of snow.
Wow. Nice.
And in 2015 or 16, we had about 1.5 feet, I think.
And what did you guys just have now? Because we just got here.
We had about 1/2 foot. We had about 6 inches.
Okay.
But the whole city shuts down.
Yeah, no school for 3 days.
Yeah.
School is finally back today.
I like saw a pickup truck with just like a grater thing on the front going around my neighborhood.
Oh yeah, that's what they do.
Is that city or is that just some dude in my neighborhood?
They're contracted out by the city or by the county. All these guys with their pickup trucks, they just throw a thing on the front of it, and yeah.
But speaking of snow, since you're from here, I was charged $15 extra for my cab ride from the airport, and he called it a snow charge.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, see?
What?
Say you think?
That's
That's
a
a
DC
DC thing for sure.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Put that on the Uber tab.
No. Well, the guy we got here, and he said the extra $15, you call it some kind of mayor's tax or
No.
something?
No, I don't think so. Well, is
That's not a thing.
did you take Uber?
No, it was
a
the
taxi.
red cabs there.
DC.
Oh, they can
DC
charge
cab.
whatever they want.
Can they do that?
I don't
think we do a lot
know.
of
I don't know the official
But it was the day of-
stance, but that sounds familiar.
Maybe it's to have less cars on the road. Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe it's
you're risking
maybe
your
it's
life.
help pay the cost of removing it all.
I've never seen that.
We just encourage taxi drivers to actually go to the airport in the snow.
True.
How was the drive? Because no one has winter tires.
Well, it was actually just yesterday, so the.
Oh, that's not. Then you
most of it
definitely
was
should have been
yeah.
charged a snow tax.
Yeah, several days after the snowfall. That is surprising.
Are you sure it wasn't just a car painted red?
No. It was the official tax that those guys at the airport make you sit in there. snow emergency fee.
Hmm.
And it's regulated by the DFHB, which is, I guess, the government of DC.
It's not emergency.
And it's applicable to taxi,
Oh, see.
Has it been lifted on one?
It's not emergency fee.
hey, maybe, as long as there's something white on the ground somewhere in a field, they're gonna charge
They
it.
gotta
but yeah,
milk it
it's,
every chance they get, yeah. That sucks.
Wow.
They regulate it, but they don't say what it's for. It just says tax. Where they apply it or.
Are you doing pool broadcasting?
Canadian.
I was just telling people to go see that, so it's gonna be out there.
Do we know at this time if we are gonna be on time? Have we been notified of any
Not yet.
delays on it?
I can tell you that almost never happens,
Is that right?
Being on time or being notified of delays?
being on time. But that doesn't mean that,
That's standard around here.
yeah. Because on time does happen, just not often.
Understood. So if you wanna watch some TV,
Oh, there you go.
yes, we can catch the Prime Minister.
Yeah. Think I like this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Think I like it.
That's Massachusetts, so good.
It's not kind of. Mr. Nathan L. Grincito. Mr. Nathan L. Grincito.
You got
So
it.
we're going to be tomorrow there?
Yeah, we'll be at.
Get the plans and get the plans and get the everything.
It's gonna be a long day.
No, don't be that hassle. No long day. Plans, still maybe an hour. It's not light, it's just a heating. The heating is because
10:30 to 11:30.
the heating is because he didn't give the belongings of his possessions.
That's right, yeah.
He didn't transfer his possessions to the ladies he owns the one.
Ruby Freeman.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
her.
so they are calling him to the judge is calling him to say what happened? What happened with you? Why didn't you transfer the? That's it.
Mhm.
And he was going to say whatever. I don't have
They probably let his lawyer speak.
Yeah.
Broke.
I have no money. I have nothing to.
Yeah.
Because now they are asking for even the house he lives in Miami. Florida, I don't know where it's in Florida. Get everything they can from him. So, I think the apartment also, they want to transfer totally the apartment. I don't know, it's some, I don't know.
I haven't heard what he's doing for the next 4 years.
I'm leaving and stuff.
Well, for the money, he's not going to jail, for sure.
Right.
So this-
That's gonna happen, for sure.
So bad. They got it wrong. I mean, they can take, they can take more money than, how many times you can cut a tree?
That's
Mhm.
exactly what he says.
I don't know. Yes, depends on how he invested it.
See her again yesterday.
Yeah, so I think it's about that thing more. They just discuss why you didn't pay, why you didn't transfer the belongings. I don't know, memorable, like the car, the ring for the, you know, the baseball
Mm.
thing, they have a ring. He's going to ask where is that thing, or why he didn't transfer it. And he's going to say, oh, I don't have money, no.
The other son is.
He's hiding that ring away, he wants it.
He have 3 or 4. I think it's 3 or 4 they have from the Yankees. Because
Pretty good asset.
he's Yankees fan.
Mm. Used to be the mayor.
3:30 we need to start for some people. Security program.
Yep. Sure, the guy will not be a machine anymore. From now on.
Don't know how long he gets for doing something like that.
I don't know, the years, at least, huh?
It was a bit weird.
Do you busy day tomorrow? Do you want to see me tomorrow? Some people are, yeah. Do you see the venture or something? Some people do.
My son.
He was just on the news. Okay, yeah.
Let's see the next 2 or 3 minutes.
2 to 3.
You know, I'm always off by about 10 or 15, so. All right, this is a real 30 seconds. Hands up.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Ça a été une journée très, très bonne à Washington aujourd'hui. On a commencé évidemment avec les funérailles pour le président Jimmy Carter, qui était un grand ami à mon père, évidemment, mais aussi un grand ami au Canada. Son impact en tant que président, son impact en tant qu'humanitaire pendant des décennies partout dans le monde, y compris au Canada, ont été réellement marqués. Et c'est une inspiration de service, de compassion et d'impact dans le monde. J'ai aussi été engagé au niveau des feux de forêt qui se passent en Californie. C'est une situation catastrophique. On est en train d'offrir beaucoup d'aide à la Californie. J'ai eu des échanges avec le gouverneur Newsom. On est là pour, avec des ressources, avec des pompiers, avec tout ce qu'ils auraient besoin, parce qu'on voit tous à quel point c'est une situation profondément alarmante et sérieuse. Mais évidemment, beaucoup de conversations sur les relations entre le Canada et les États-Unis. Permettez-moi de souligner encore une fois que le Canada ne sera jamais le 51e État américain. Nous sommes des gens qui se définissent de bien des façons, mais une des façons que les Canadiens aiment bien se définir très simplement, c'est qu'on n'est pas des Américains. Et ça va demeurer. J'ai aussi eu des discussions avec des leaders, des gens d'affaires ici à Washington. Jay Timmons de l'Association nationale des manufacturiers, Joshua Bolton de la table ronde nationale des gens d'affaires, pour souligner à quel point nous continuons de faire de grandes choses ensemble des deux côtés de la frontière, ce qui est bon pour la croissance économique, ce qui est bon pour les gens d'affaires, ce qui est bon pour les travailleurs et les consommateurs dans nos deux pays, que nous devons travailler ensemble pour éviter des tarifs injustes sur les produits canadiens pour qu'on puisse continuer non seulement de bénéficier des travailleurs des deux bords de notre frontière, mais être compétitif avec le monde entier dans un moment où la géopolitique exige une force en Amérique du Nord pour bien compétitionner avec le monde. Alors, ça a été une bonne journée et on continue le travail. It was a good day here in Washington today. Obviously started with the funeral, the state funeral for President Jimmy Carter, who was not just a good friend to me and to my fathers, but especially a good friend to Canada. His leadership, his impact, his humanitarianism, his compassion, his service left a profound mark, not just on the United States, but on the entire world, and he remains an inspiration to all those who serve and lead. I've also been engaging on the issue of the terrible wildfires in California. I've been back and forth exchanging with Governor Newsom of California, and our officials have been closely in touch with American officials to ensure that we're offering firefighters, resources, planes, ships, whatever is needed. Unfortunately, Canada has developed a significant amount of expertise in wildfires that are encroaching on suburban and urban areas. This is something that we're all going to have to deal with more in the world over the coming decades with the impacts of climate change, and we are certainly there to help our American friends. The issue, of course, of Canada-U.S. relations also came up a number of times today. You know, when it comes to Canada being looked at as the 51st state, let me just state it again, that's never going to happen. Canadians define themselves a whole bunch of different ways, but one of the ways that we all use as shorthand is we're Canadian because we're not American, and that is not going to change. In regards to tariffs and the business community, I had some very good and productive meetings with a number of business leaders here in Washington, D.C. Jay Timmons of the National Association of Manufacturers, Joshua Bolton of the Business Roundtable here in the United States, to emphasize that we have become incredibly successful as countries, as economies, as a continent, because we do things so well together. We create jobs on both sides of the border. We create growth. We create opportunities for investors and business people, continuing to work together and avoiding unnecessary tariffs on goods and products from Canada is in our interest to continue to move forward, both from an American perspective and a Canadian perspective. So we're going to continue to stand up for the interests of workers and consumers on both sides of the border, because there is no relationship in the world like that between Canada and the United States as defined by a win-win for both of us. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you very much.
How does the threat of economic force change your strategy? Are you still able to successfully negotiate on behalf of Canada?
Kelly.
Blame me.
Oh, I'm sure. I will talk to Mia.